TKRS at the Camp Kennerk podcast. It's Sunday. It's sports. It's minor league baseball. And we love the spirit of competition, and every competitor wants to do their best. But sometimes people get a little wound up on it. Let me just tell you a story about Philip Wellman. He was the manager of the Mississippi Braves in the Double-A League some time ago. And on June 1st, 2007, his team was playing the Chattanooga Lookouts, and everything was going well. But then the umpire was making some calls that Philip didn't really agree with. So he finally had enough. He runs out to the field. He confronts the umpire. He throws his hat. He stomps his feet. He kicks dirt. And he's going on and on. And the umpire's just standing there not saying a word. He's not changing his mind. Well, Philip either had too much caffeine in the morning, or he just needed to get a good workout in for his stress level, because what he did next is he went over to the home plate and he got on his hands and knees and covered the whole plate in dirt. A big mound. You couldn't even see it. So, well, that didn't satisfy his stress level. So he ran down the third base line. He grabbed the third base. He grabbed the actual third base and pitched it out into the outfield. Well, then he thought about it. He got down on his hands and knees like it was in World War II, going through some brush, hands and knees crawling slowly and slower to the mound, the pitcher's mound, where he found the rosin bag the pitcher uses to keep his hands dry. He grabs it. He pretends like it's a hand grenade. He pulls the plug and he heaves it towards the umpire, only to land on his feet. Well, Philip was not having a good day, and everyone was, talking about it, and he was sort of embarrassed. But the real issue came is when the reporters started calling. Well, they didn't call just anybody. They called Philip's mom and dad. So imagine this. You have a son that's a manager in Major League Baseball. Very proud, I'm sure. And you get a call from a total stranger saying he's a reporter. And what's your comments about your son's behavior at the Chattanooga Lookout game? Well, I think it'd be one of those calls to your son going, Philip, is there something we need to talk about? So, hey, all in the spirit of competition. Douglas, how you like that for a little antic and during the game to break the monotony?
TK, absolutely fantastic story, and so good to see you again on this Sunday morning, June 21st, for our 97th podcast. Do you have your coffee?
I got it right here. Maybe that's what Philip did. Philip just had a little bit too much.
I think so. I think so. There's much better hot dog mascots running around. That's absolutely fantastic. Now, this is our sports show, and right now in the United States, World Cup is going on. World Cup's going on. Now,
Oh,
I'm
big
not.
time, big time. Everyone's loving it. We got it. We got them here in Dallas playing games, and the city's crowded, and everyone's
Yes,
having a great time.
yes. I must admit, I'm not into soccer. I'm a baseball, football, basketball guy. I'm not into soccer, but because of social media, it gets thrown at you. It comes to you, and there have been some interesting things that have happened that are kind of entertaining, and I'd like to bring up a couple of them. With Norway, their stadium chant, their chant among their fans is, for lack of a better word, is called a row. And what they do is they sit there like this, and then they go row, row. And when you get thousands of them doing this, this becomes the Norwegian Viking chant. Row, you're getting into it, and
Yeah.
this sea of these people doing it, it's amazing. It's really entertaining. Now, The other thing that you were up close and personal with is that the Dutch are there. The Netherlands team is there in Dallas.
Yes, and they love ranch dressing,
Ranch dressing,
Waffle House,
Waffle House.
barbecue.
God bless Texas.
Hey, what else would you want in life? Anytime you can convert somebody from across the pond, you know you're
Right.
doing the job right.
I'm convinced we just need to bring our enemies on over here. Sit down, have some Mexican food, some barbecue. Oh, put some ranch on that. And a cold Lone Star. Now, what's your problem? What's our problem? No, no, no. Can I have some more ranch? Yeah, sure. All right. So the next thing is the Dutch are there uh, in Dallas. Now, I don't know what their record is. There's 48 teams in this whole thing. The winner beats somebody, but if you get beaten, you get to go into another game that can beat the previous team. It's kind of complicated. Round robin or double round robin. I don't know. I just don't know. But right now, you start with 48 teams, and we've gone through about 10 days, 8, 9 to 10 days to start. So as it proceeds. Okay. But the Dutch sent over a orange bus, an orange double decker bus from Amsterdam, I'll assume, flew it on over, and that leads their parade as they go through wherever they're going through in Dallas, I guess in Arlington around the stadium or whatever. But there's a sea of these people dressed in orange, and they're just singing this song to the left, to the left, to the right, to the in Dutch language, to the left, to the right, to the right. So it's just amazing to watch. And every time I've seen it 10 times, and I go, how the heck do they do that? Organize that. Yeah. Boom. They're all up there. To the right, to the left. Yeah. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, another thing that I've noticed is that when the Japanese team plays, the fans show up in mass and they show up. But after the game, the Japanese fans clean the stands.
Yes, they are very fastidious about that. They want to make sure everything is just as clean as it when they came in to sit down to watch the game.
Yes, and it's each of them brings their own trash bag for this. It's not just one or two nice people,
Hmm.
cleaning up. It is everybody.
Yeah, they Texas Rangers had a manager, Bobby Valentine, back in the day, and after he coached the Rangers, he went over to Japan to
Yes.
manage. And he came back and he said, it's amazing. He says the dugouts after the game here in the United States, they're trash. There's cups, there's seeds on the ground, this and that. He says after a game in Japan, it's spotless. I mean, spotless. And I just wish that some of these players here in the States could figure out, it's okay to pick up after yourself.
Yeah, yeah, it's a good citizen. I mean, you walk down the street and you'll see a clean street and there's a beer can in the middle of the street. What the, you look around, you pick it up and you put it in the trash. Well, that's just being a good citizen.
Yeah,
So we could learn a lot from the Japanese concerning fan conduct of this through this. And I just wish, as Americans, we do the same thing. That's all.
yeah.
Well, so, and now one more thing that we were ahead of the curve. Camp Kennerk podcast, you did,
Again?
yeah,
Again?
ahead of the curve. Yes. In one of the games near the end of it, a referee had a very bad cramp and he keeled on over and he's grabbing his leg. Nobody touched him. He just had a cramp. And the medical team came on out, and one of the medical people was carrying a bottle of pickle juice.
Well, how
Yeah,
about that?
yes, and gave him a shot, a couple of shots of pickle juice. It takes like 60 seconds to affect the system, and we have been promoting pickleback uh, pickle juice for the last, 100 of our podcasts. And this bottle here was picked up 2 years ago in Eden, Texas, when I was driving through in the middle of the night from San Angelo to Austin. And I stopped at the Short Stop, which is a convenience store, in the middle of the night for a load of coffee. And I saw this and I thought this was kind of interesting. And it's from Fort Worth, Texas.
There
Fort
you
Worth.
go.
Yeah, Fort Worth, Texas, pickleback. And as I was standing there, I'd never seen it before, so I bought one, and I was standing there talking to the really nice guy who's on the night shift. He was on the night shift, and I said, "How do you drink this stuff?" And he said, "Well, I pour it over ice after my shift." And I said, "Oh, okay, that's kind of good." And then he says, "I know it works." That's all he said. I know it works. I'm standing on my feet 12 hours a day at the shortstop in Eden, Texas. I know this stuff works. So the company, Pickleback there in Fort Worth, they need to put Brian as a spokesperson because
Absolutely.
he said, I know it works.
There you go. Nothing like a good testimonial.
Testimonial, yes, from a working guy, not
Yeah.
some rich guy in khakis. You know,
Yeah.
he's a working guy. What do you do? I work the night shift at the shortstop. My name's Brian, and this pickleback works.
There you go.
That's all he,
Hats off to you, Brian. Thanks for
and
the
that's why I still save my notes because this was on July 1st of 24. So that's almost 2 years next
Yeah,
week.
yeah. Pretty close to 2 years.
Yeah, so we're putting Brian on our A team.
Yeah. Yeah.
18. He knows it works. His
Hmm.
word is solid. Now, that's kind of interesting concerning soccer, and there's more games today and the next day and the next day. And like I said, it's round robin, but then there's elimination games. But if you beat them, you can play again. It kind of goes on for a long time. You can go
Yeah.
a long time. But everyone seems to be having fun. You know,
Yeah.
it's somebody just described soccer as the parents may politically not get along, but when you play soccer, their kids are having a great time.
Yes. Yes, that's so true. Well, Douglas, we were soccer came after we were playing athletics, after we played football and everything in college. That's when soccer started to really make a play here into the States. So, yeah,
Right, right.
I understand.
And with the stands being packed, TK, I'm making a venture that 20 years from now, soccer will be the game. It'll surpass a lot of baseball. It'll surpass football, just in viewership, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, one of the problems is trying to watch a game. I can't figure out which streaming it is on. It's the same with football and basketball and baseball. It's where, what,
Mhm.
I don't know where. Spin the wheel and pick one and see if you paid for it. No, you want to pay that price, So I don't know. I don't know. Now, so continue our sports show this Sunday morning on June 21st, our podcast number 97. Baseball, let's talk some baseball. My Texas Rangers, okay? They are third in the American League East. Excuse me. Third in the American League West.
There you go. Slowly
Stumble.
and distinctly, one word at a time, Douglas.
Yeah, with a little coffee. Mm. You get me up so early for these.
Hey, it's not early if you haven't been to bed.
Now, right now they are third in the American League West behind Seattle and the Athletics. And they're playing a rubber game against San Diego today, Sunday. And what's interesting to note about this, that on the San Diego team, there are two players that were in the El Paso Chihuahuas, which we have been following in our sports show concerning AAA, where hope lives. Now, there's a guy named Nick Solak, and then there's Chase Bowen that is on the team. So that's good. Excuse me. So that's good to see. Now, the Texas Rangers as a team, they're bad. They're only batting 241. Yeah,
Not good.
not good. And their ERA is 3.96. So
Well,
they kind of got to get going. They're 75 games into the season. Their last 10 games, they're 4-6. So they need to kind of solidify their actions and their baseball skills to get going. Now, after the playing San Diego, they're going down to Miami for a 3-game series. Okay. Now, we were talking about Nick Solak and Chase Bowen, who was on the San Diego Padres that the Texas Rangers were playing. Well, came up from the El Paso Chihuahuas. I am from El Paso, and we have been following the Chihuahuas. Okay, so here's some interesting stuff. They've been playing Reno in El Paso, and today is they're 3-2 because they play a 6-game series
hmm
and they travel on a Monday. So today they play Reno, and they're 3-2 right now. And then they're off to Sugarland, which is outside of Houston, to play the Sugarland Space Cowboys. Now, the Chihuahuas are third in the Pacific Coast League East behind OKC and Albuquerque. They're 34 and 40, 34 and 40. So they got to kind of get their act together. But a bright spot is they've blasted 97 home runs in 75 games.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and to show hustle, they on the bases, 81 stolen bases, 81 stolen bases. So they're hitting 285 as a team, which is good with 97 home runs and 81 stolen bases, but their ERA is 6.25.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Ouch.
yeah.
I wish that sounds like somebody's interest rate
On a good day.
on a good day.
Yeah. So that's kind of interesting, but hope lives in the minor leagues, and it applies to Nick Solak and Chase Bowen. They've made it to the minor leagues. Now they got to stay up there.
Yeah.
Get used
Well,
to it.
hats off to them.
Hats off to them. Yes, hats off to them. Go Chihuahuas. Now, TK, this is a very interesting day. This is Father's Day,
that's right.
and you have twin boys.
I do. Yes, I do.
All right. So today I would like to honor my father, Major Ralph Douglas Goland. He was born in 1924 and he joined the military, World War II, in 1943. And then he served in Holland. And then he served in Japan. He served in Korea and he served in Vietnam for a year before the family moved down to Fort Bliss in El Paso. And then he was there for 3 years. I stayed in El Paso and the family moved back to Ottawa. It was a very interesting dinner one night when he came home and said, "We are moving to Ottawa after 3 years in El Paso." And I said, "We are not moving to Ottawa."
What's this wee bit, King Wasabi?
Now, Dad was a great man. He supported, he put 2 kids through college, me and myself and my sister. And he was a big hockey fan. We have pictures of him playing hockey as a kid. He was also a big, we have memories of him playing softball. And then he was a big golfer. He loved to golf. So on Father's Day, my dad, Major Ralph Douglas Goland.
That's very kind of you, Douglas. I'll take a minute here. My father, H. Hugh Kennerk, born and raised Fort Wayne, Indiana, was a practicing lawyer and judge. So, but he loved sports and he loved golf. So as you know, Douglas, there's 8 kids in our family, and when he got married, he had a handicap of 2, which is
Whoa.
very good.
Yeah.
But what happened is over time, every time they had another child, his handicap went up one stroke. So by the time I came around, his handicap was 10. And he was so upset. He said, Helen, no more. That's it. We're gonna have my golf game can't handle this.
DK, that is a great, great story. Oh, God bless our fathers. TK, play ball.
Aaron go brawl.